Hi, and thanks for stopping by. I'm John Jerkowitz. I'm the owner and founder of New Career Creations. New Career Creations is a business coaching and consulting firm, and I also do work in individual career development. Tonight, I'm here to talk to you about what makes a good business coach. In the past few days, I've given this presentation 3 times to the Business Network International Group, the Fast Trackers in Evansville, Indiana, that I'm a proud member of, to the Evansville Chamber of Commerce, and to the Owensboro Network Group. And each one of those presentations allotted me 10 minutes to talk about business coaching, its benefits, what it does, and all those sorts of cool things. Well, I wasn't satisfied with that. I wanted to share more, maybe about 5 to 10 minutes more. And so I decided to record this video. Now, before we get started, there's one thing you need to be aware of. This is live TV. What happens, happens. One of my dogs may start barking. I believe I muted my phone before we started, but you just never know what's going to happen. Now, the reason I recorded this is because I have a real passion for what I do. And I promise you, we're probably not going to go any longer than 15 to 20 minutes. But I could sit here all night and I could tell you stories about my coaching experiences. And it's kind of interesting. Formally, I always used to tell people that I've been coaching since about 2001. And I spent a lot of time in the car. And I'm driving down the road the other day, and it dawned on me that I really started my formal coaching experience in 1971. Now, I know a lot of you watching probably weren't even alive in 1971, but I was a senior in high school. And I was part of the drama club. And every year, the drama club was in charge of helping the drama coach put on the school play. I was a senior in 1971. And so I was part of the production crew. I was fortunate enough to be an assistant director and an assistant producer of the play. Don't be too terribly impressed. I carried Mrs. McDonald, the drama coach's papers and folders around for her. But I learned a lot about theater, a lot about plays, and a lot about acting. And so there was a meeting. And the meeting was held right about this time of year. And Mrs. McDonald told everybody who showed up in the school auditorium before school that morning that tryouts would be in 6 weeks for the play, and the play would be performed the second week in May. She said, pick up a copy of the script, all that neat kind of stuff. And as she turned to walk off the stage, she paused and said, and by the way, I pretty much decided who's going to play the female lead in this play. So you're more than welcome to try out, but I'm going to sneeze. The wonders of muting your microphone. Excuse me. So Mrs. McDonald said, I've already picked the lead, but the rest of you are more than welcome to try out for that position. You never know. So I helped her gather up all the extra programs and scripts and help her lock them up in her office. And I was walking out to the parking lot to get a ride home from one of my friends. And as I walked out the door, a girl who I kind of sort of knew, who was a junior, said, excuse me, could I talk to you for a minute? And I said, sure. She said, I would really like to lead in that play. And I said, well, you heard what Mrs. McDonald said. She said, I know, but I was wondering if you'd work with me. I'd be willing to give up whatever time is necessary. I really want that part. Well, you don't have to flatter me too much to get me to help you. So we took study halls, we took before school, we took after school, because I was in drama 4 by admission only. I got access to the drama room. which means I had access to the stage and the lighting. And so I worked with her, and I worked with her, and I worked with her. And lo and behold, when tryouts came, she indeed got the part. Isn't that a nice story? She never talked to me again. The pains of being 17. But it was my first real coaching experience, and it didn't dawn on me till about a month or so ago. I've had other experiences, but one of the things I'm very adamant about in my passion for what I do is simply this. We as coaches very often get our feathers ruffled because people just don't get what we do. Well, I'm going to tell you that I feel it's our responsibility to educate people. First and foremost, coaching is an unregulated profession. And by that, I mean there's no one specific guideline that tells you here's what a business coach is and here's what they do. I'm going to share some stuff with you this evening. I'm going to tell you that it's primarily my opinion, and in a couple cases, the opinions of some other folks. But mostly, you could find a video on business coaching from 3 other people and get 3 other perspectives. And that's all well and good. So I'm going to share a screen with you here in a minute, and we're going to go through a couple slides, and I'm going to talk to you about what exactly is coaching. Doesn't that guy look just like me? Well, first of all, I want to talk to you about styles of coaching. And if you look on the left and look on the right, there's 2 different branches of coaching. And one is the type of coaching we hear a lot about, and that's life coaching. Well, you know, what's a life coach? And do I need a life coach? And there's somebody who counsels, encourages, and they help people with personal challenges. I know a number of really good life coaches, people who help with personal finances, people who help with aerobic and athletic training, people who are diet coaches. They're all focused on a specific personal need. Now, a business coach, on the other hand, or for example, has expertise in the area they're coaching. And again, so does a life coach. And they understand their limitations. Now, you notice I highlighted that in red, and I did that for a reason. The very first thing you want to ask somebody when they're talking to you about becoming your business coach is, tell me what you can't do, or what are the limits? And if they say, oh, I can help you with anything, run. We help owners of small and medium-sized businesses. And if you look at the slide, I put a few things. There's sales, marketing, team building. My expertise is creating hiring process and hiring people. It's dealing with customer service and management development. In a previous life, I handled salary development at a location for a Fortune 5 company. So how do I do this? Well, first of all, I look at a coach as being a guide. Do you notice I say first of all a lot? They're a guide. If I'm your coach, I'm going to guide you on a journey that you choose and we mutually agree upon to take together. I'm going to support you. I'm going to give you accountability. And most importantly, I'm going to give you encouragement. So that's an example on the 2 styles of coaching. Now, when you're looking for a coach, here's some things you need to know. Coaching is short term. You're going to pick a particular area of your business or your career that you want to enhance, and your coach is going to work with you, first of all, to help you understand where you need to go, what you need to do, and what the outcome's going to be. It should be for a very defined length of time. Coaching is task-oriented. I'm fond of saying that we don't go out on the front lawn, put our arms around one another, and sing "We Are the World." By task-oriented, you're going to create a series of tasks that are going to help you reach a goal. And coaching is performance-driven. Here's the down and dirty deal. You're going to hand a qualified business coach a significant amount of resource to help you reach a goal. That coach's job is to help you create performance. And in a way, they're no different than, say, an athletic coach. If you want your team to be in the Super Bowl, for example, you're going to have a coach work with different members on the team to help them enhance and improve their performance so that at the end of the season, they've reached their goal and they're in the Super Bowl. The same thing holds true with a business coach. How is your performance going to increase from where it is today to where it may be next week, next month, or next year? So those are three things you should look for in a coach. It's going to be short term. It's going to be task oriented. You're going to have stuff to do, and it's going to be performance driven. Okay, I'm going to spend some time here on 9 things to look for in a business coach. This came from 8 qualities you need to look for in a business coach by Stephen Key, and I added number 9. The first thing is, do they work with a coach themselves? Time for a story. Zig Ziglar began his career selling pots and pans in Mississippi. And he did such a good job that he got promoted to sales coordinator and trainer. And he noticed there was one guy on his team who just wasn't making his sales quota. So old Zig sat him down and talked to him and encouraged him and kind of coached him, and finally said, well, you do own a set of our pots and pans, don't you? The guy looked for a minute. And he said, well, no, I don't. He said, they're too expensive. I can't afford them. Ziegler looked at him for a minute and said, how can you expect somebody to buy something you don't believe in? So the first question I ask a coach is, do you have a coach? I have 2. I work with both of them periodically depending on my needs. One's a business coach and one's a coach's coach. How can I ask you to make a commitment to improve yourself through coaching if I'm not willing to do the same thing? Point number 2, do they have experience and expertise in their field? All of us have seen that wonderful telephone commercial about, well, I'm not an electrician, but I stayed at a Holiday Inn Express last night. What's their experience? What do they bring to the table? I can only use myself as an example. I have over 40 years experience in a variety of business applications, and most importantly, I've owned my own business for 16 years. So I know what it's like to stay awake at night wondering, how are we going to handle this? My experience has taught me that there's many different avenues to get to success. My experience has taught me that I have expertise in a number of different areas where I can really help people reach those performance goals. So one of the things you want to ask is, do they have experience? Are they good teachers? Remember when I started this video, I said we really do a poor job of educating people as to what business coaching is? Would you be surprised how many people don't know how to reach a goal? Oh, they nod their heads and think they do. Okay. Do you know how many people don't know what task management and being performance driven really means? So as coaches, we need to be good teachers. And being a good teacher doesn't mean you slide a piece of paper in front of somebody and say, here, read this and tell me what you think. Good teacher, a good guide is going to help you along the way. What are their expectations in a coaching relationship? What do they want from you? Some of the coaches that I've patterned my practice after are people who will sit down with you for an hour or so before you even enter into negotiation on what this relationship's going to be like. And they're going to tell you, here's what I expect from you. And that's why it's important, or rather, this is why that's important to do, because you need to know up front, can I work with this person? I'm also fond of telling people I'm not Mother Teresa. I do get paid for what I do. If you're going to hand me your hard-earned valuable resource, then please, let's make sure you and I are on the same page. How accessible are they? Do you just get to talk to them when you have an appointment? I know coaches, one of my coaches, for example, says I have access to her 24/7 if I want it. I can call her, I can email her, provided I don't abuse the privilege, which I never have. How accessible is your coach? That's a question you need to ask. And what's their attitude? I love the quote on the slide. Attitude is a little thing that makes a big difference. Are they going to encourage you? Are they going to motivate you? I know that one of the coaches I work with, I sometimes dread having a meeting with them because I know I'm going to get an emotional kick in the rear end. They're going to kind of tell me to get off the dime and quit making excuses and just go ahead and do it and move forward. But they do it in a way that they're encouraging me to be better. Spend some time with your coach or prospective coach before you make that commitment. Who are their connections? I think this is really, really next to, do they have a coach of their own? I think this is the second most important thing to look for in a coach. What connections do they have? So many times I've sat and talked with somebody who said, boy, I need to refinance my home, John. I'm going to tell you, it's something that just weighs on my mind, and it's really distracting me from doing a lot of other things. And my response is, I can't help you with that, but wait a minute. I know somebody that can. If you're a passionate, committed coach, you're going to be involved in networking, and you're going to create a network of folks who are going to be able to help your clients. So ask a prospective coach, who are your connections? Are they going to hold you accountable? I got to tell you, this is my least favorite part of coaching. The part where I know somebody's kind of backslid a little bit, or not doing their field work, or not making a commitment to some of what we've talked about. And I've got to sit with them at a session and go, hey, look, something wrong here? I realize there's emergencies. I realize things come up. But when they come up week after week, it's a pretty good sign that that person's not committed. And just remember, you're paying your business coach to help hold you accountable. So ask them, are they willing to listen to you? We can get really puffed up with our accomplishments, us business coaches. We can get really puffed up with all our expertise and knowledge. And sometimes, and I'll tell you, I'm guilty of this, sometimes we don't listen as often as we should. Your coach should listen to you twice as much as he talks to you. Those are the 9 things you need to look for in a good coach. And if you want to know more, you can contact me at my email address here, newcareercreations@outlook.com. So there we go. I want to thank you for taking the time to listen to this or to watch this. I've got to tell you that coaching is a burgeoning industry. It's something that is growing and growing day by day. What you want to make sure, just like anything else you invest your valuable business and career resource in, is that you do your homework. Giving you these 9 tips this evening, I'm hoping it's something that'll help you when you interview a coach. Like I said, if you need to contact me, you know where to reach me. I'm John Jerkowitz, Chief Cook and Bottle Washer at New Career Creations, and I want to thank you for taking the time to be with me. So I hope you have a great day, and I hope to talk to you soon.